Hey guys, how are you doing? Today is Friday, October 7th. Um, I think a lot of investor already then they will have this idea in their head that since Micron's result is bad, they already will think that AMD, Nvidia, or even then yesterday night, right? Samsung's performance is also bad, right? I'm actually, if you ask me, I think that it's not only on the tech stock. It's all nearly, I think, is 95% of the business will not be good because of the recession. We know that then for putting up the interest rate, then all the money has been flowed to buy the treasury bond of or the debentures of America. So the money is flow out of a lot of countries. Then they are going for a recession with very high inflation rate. Then you can see that for UK the inflation rate is very high. Europe is very high. China is high, and then even now in Hong Kong, you can say is not not very worse, right? Because actually it's in hope. Hong Kong dollar is in hope with the US dollar, right? But actually the inflation is there and the property price is dropping, right? So in every respect, then you have to pay for the price, right? You Hong Kong dollar in hope to US dollar, then but you have to use the money to make it into the hope, and then like that, then your property price will drop, right? So in some respect, then that means in water barrel, then you put the water here, and then if there is some leakage, then it will goes out in that leakage, right? So actually today we will have a very quick news on the AMD preliminary Q3 sales. Actually, it's not an official report issued, but actually they have all the data already, and then it missed the estimate by quite a wide margin. Then tonight, when the market open, then it will drop maybe in the pre-market dropped at 5%. Then we don't know, right? But actually, no matter it's AMD or no matter it's Nvidia, Micron, Samsung or TSM, they already dropped it. AMD already dropped at nearly half already from the peak, right? So I'm not very worried about that, but we still have to report that, right? Okay, then our Falcon portfolio been better, right? Since few days before, then the Dow Jones been rise at 1,500 points. That is 5%, right? So our Falcon portfolio been doing better, right? So after 44 months, then our result is 39%. So if you want me to discuss any stock or any subjects, then you can leave your message under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me by usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. And this is our Falcon 350,000 portfolio. Then you'll see that in the same time, Nasdaq been raised for 43%, and our portfolio been raised for 39%. So this is our covering, and AMD's prelim Q3 result missed the estimate by a wide margin. So we will come to that shortly. And yesterday, Dow Jones been dropped for 300 points. That doesn't matter because it's been raised 5% in a few days before, right? So yesterday, the close for Dow Jones is 29 and 926 points. And Nasdaq just dropped it about 75 points, because you can see that the Nasdaq been dropped much more than the Dow Jones. The peak for Nasdaq is 16,000, and then now it's just 11,000. It dropped more than 5,000 points. 5,000 points is something like 35% from the peak already. Okay, so we can see that for the US 10 years Treasury yield, 1 week before is about 3.8, and then yesterday the closing is 3.829, then a little bit higher, and it's very close to 4% already. We goes into some headlines first. Then we all heard that from the United Nations, they already asked the Fed, hello, if you keep on putting up the interest rate, then a lot of countries will die because all the money flow out, right? All the money flow out. A lot of the financial products that is inhooked to the interest rate, inhooked to the US dollar, and then inhooked to like the credit suits, right? Then they may have much demand for the physical money, right? But the point is then how can they get the money, right? They issued um, too many financial products, and then they may not realize or they may never think of in this such worse condition, the Fed will crazily put up the interest rate, right? So no matter it's IMF before or a few days before, the United Nations already asked the Fed, hey, think about it. Will you slow it down? And then the answer from the Fed is no, she will not slow it down, right? So no reprieve for Asian currency as Fed's rate hikes continue. So we still have to tighten our seatbelt, right? So there is no details for this news. Then Credit Suisse to repurchase 3 billion of debt security. I think it's with dollars, right? So there is no details for this news, but I think that she has to do that. The reason is then she may borrow the money to bought back the debt securities that she issued before. But the main point is that is if she not buy back at this moment, she may need to borrow the money and then buy back. And then if the Fed further put up the interest rate, which most probably it will, in this year or maybe still in next year, the first 2 or 3 quarters, then she'll die because she does not have enough money to pay for the dividend. All right. And then she will borrow the money with a lower interest rate and then to buy back the debt security, which is have a higher interest rate. We do not have a lot of details on this news then, and I think that she will not explain in detail, right? Because this is not glory, right? This is not glory. That's what it is, right? So I do not like investment bank, right? No matter what, no matter which one, like Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Credit Suisse, whatever. I do not like investment bank because actually they always will not have enough money for anything that she need to defend, right? Whenever the market just go into another direction, the opposite direction, then they die, right? Not like Warren Buffett, then he has a lot of cash on hand, right? He has a lot of cash on hand, 100, 200 billion US dollar on hand. Then what can you do on his stock, right? Then another news is Elon Musk. Actually, we know that he has a court case with Twitter, right? And then now the court said, then please, okay, just suspend the court case first, and then please complete the Twitter deal by the latest of October 28th. Otherwise, the trial will continue, right? And the court case will continue. If my memory serves me well, then that acquisition is 45 billion US dollar, right? No more bargain piece, just complete the deal, right? Okay, we talk about AMD. So this is the stock price of AMD, right? If you bought this share at the peak, then you will be quite disappointed because it's been dropped at more than half. It's not a half. It dropped it is more than half. Half should be 82, and then now is only 67, and with a PE of 28. And you can see that the after hours, right? You see for the red letters, after hours it will drop $3 more because of the prelim result of the Q3. Guys, you know that I'm never aware that Lisa Su is a doctor. I always call her Lisa Su, right? So actually, I just knew that then she is a doctor. So I will add the title in front of that is Dr. Lisa Su, right? Actually, she just said yesterday that the third quarter result of AMD is disaster. Then it should be just 5.6 billion US dollar for the sales. And then the consensus or the estimate, that estimate is not by the market, it's by herself. It's by the previous performance result for the whole year's guidance. Then the whole year's guidance is 6.71 billion for next quarter, and then it turned out just 5.6 billion. So it's it's 1 billion US dollar is a lot of money. And then Dr. Lisa Su said then that why it's so weak, because the PC market is weak and then the inventory is high. We can say for some reason that caused that. The first reason I think is maybe of China, right? Because you know that AMD's main market is for the notebook, and for the gaming. China's recession and then China's COVID-19 anti-COVID-19 policy then make a lot of notebook sales is dropped. And also the US dollar is so strong, right? The US dollar is so strong. So actually RMB is weak, Euro is weak, right? Like Japan dollar is weak, and then South Korea dollars, all dollar is weak. They will pay the same amount on buying the notebooks or the PC, but then she will buy less because actually they deflated for the currency. So there is a lot of the inventory together with a weaker PC market. It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. Then if you buy less PC, then what happened? The inventory rise up. Right? And then there are three figures came out. I will analyze in detail in our Hong Kong programs because it's just a prelim result. Then we will analyze it in detail after the official reports been launched, maybe a few days after. Then the revenue fell, right, quite a big number, 53% sequentially. That means compared to last quarter, that means the same quarter. And then if compared to 1 year before, then it fell at 40%, right, to just 1 billion. We have analyzed it before. Data center will be okay, right? Because then everyone needs to enhance for the data center. Or data center is like you open a shop before. Then without the data center, then you cannot open a shop, right? So data center revenue rose 8% compared to one season before, and then rise up 45% compared to 1 year before. So on data center is good, but the total revenue decreased. And gaming, right? Gaming is just flat. That means same as 1 quarter before. And then when compared to 1 year before, rose up about 14% to 1.6 billion. While the revenue from its embedded segment was just up 4% sequentially, and then largely fans. Why? Why then for the gaming revenue can maintain is because the acquisition of ceilings before. We reported this before, few quarters before, right? And then for the GAAP gross margin, then it's just 42%, and the adjust is 50%. well below 54% of the company before. And then I think the net margin, and actually from the figures, the net income should rise to just 29%. Just 29%. Then it's much lower than before. Then we can see that the PE now is 28. That means nearly no premium. Or if today it dropped, maybe the PE dropped it to 25% or 24%, well below the net income increment. That means the market is very depressed. And there is not only on AMD or Micron, right? Then we can see that for the Samsung Electronics, then we know that actually for Samsung Electronics, then the most profitable sector is for the memory chips, right? We introduced it before. Then you can see that for the Samsung Electronics stock price is like that, better than AMD. Why? Because Samsung has the variety of products, right? Like TV, like other musical devices, whatsoever, right? A lot of products on Samsung cell phones, right? On earplugs, on TV, all the other products. But you can see that even for Samsung, right, dropped a lot. The share price dropped from more than 80,000 Korean dollars to 51,000. One of the factors it dropped is because the Korean dollars dropped, and then another is because of the recession, right, whatsoever, and then the inventory of Samsung, inevitably, it will rise up, right? We may not be, you can see that for the Samsung, right, for the Q3 operating profit is 10.8 trillion Korean dollars, compared to the consensus is 12.1 trillion dollars. That means actually is much lower than expected. Dropped it more than 18%, 18.5%, right? So actually it's like that then, but no matter what, even the United Nations has asked the Fed, okay, please slow it down for putting up the interest rate, but sorry about that. Actually, within this year, then Fed will further put up 1.25% of the interest rate, and then next year we don't know. I think at least is another 1 or 1.5%. So this will continue. So we have to suck it up, right? I use this word, not so polite, right? Not so good for hearing, but we have to suck it up, right? Okay, so today we share up till here, and then I will have more detailed analysis on AMD's performance. And if we have time in our Hong Kong program, then we will also take some time to analyze for Samsung as well. And then no need to say about NVIDIA or Micron, then other big tech stock, right? Okay, then we share up till here for today. Thanks for watching, and then please give us a like, and your comment is welcome. Please help to press the subscribe button and then the bell icon next to it. So whenever there is new video uploaded, then you will be informed by YouTube. Okay, thanks guys for watching, and hope everyone have a very peaceful weekend. See you guys next week Friday. Bye bye.